It's a great honor to be here representing our Holy Mother, Mary Abba Ocran, who's the mother of Baba Yananan, as we all know. It's also an honor to be here with these elders on the stage, some great people here, and it's an honor to be with all of you. I first met her in the early 70s, and just like Sincere Ray had said, she was really an excellent businesswoman. The store that he's speaking of was in a village, had sand on the floor. It was called Intensive Keter, was a brand that her son had pioneered. And he had a group of stores in Brooklyn called Intensive Keter. But that store was not the first store that she had. She had a number of stores before Intensive Keter. And one in particular that I'll always remember was on Carroll and Utica Street in Bed-Stuy, right on Carroll and Utica. There was a gift shop that she owned right there, right on the corner. It's still there today. And what was so historical about this gift shop, and then I'm going to take you back further than this in the 50s, but this was in the early 70s, was this gift shop later became our headquarters. At the time, we didn't have a mosque, and we were going to State Street Mosque with Sheikh Daoud to make Juma prayer. So I'm going to go back to that in a minute. So what happened was she gave this store to her son. The Holy Mother, Mary Abba Ocran, gave the store to her son, Baba Yananan. That became our headquarters. Baba took that store and converted it into everything. We had a fleet of taxi cabs. We had a fleet of brothers going on the streets propagating every day. I was working the store itself, and I used to sleep in that store. Yeah, we slept in that store. And the basement was converted into the book room where the brothers would come in from Pelham, would turn in their daily wages and books and things like that in the basement. You see, so then he expanded into a fruit and vegetable stand on the other side. It was actually two sides to it. But I want to go back further than that. Our Holy Mother, Mary Abba Ocran, was also, she was one of the one of the first hours of Sheikh Daoud on State Street Mosque. She was one of the first members of that mosque. That mosque was historical. You know, at the time, in the 60s and early 70s, we were known as the ancient Nubian Taurites. We evolved from the ancient Nubian Taurites to the Nubian Islamic Hebrews and so forth and so on up until Ansar and Nawab and the Wabi Nation. But at that time, our Holy Mother Mary Abba Ocran was going over to Sheikh Daoud State Street Mosque, and she used to take her son, Baba Yananan, with her. At that time, that was the first mosque in Brooklyn, the first one under Sheikh Daoud, who was a Nubian Arab from Morocco. So this was everybody, any who's who, everybody of any prominence was going to State Street at that time. And can you imagine a young kid like Baba Ocran at that young age, Baba Yananan, being around in the midst of all of this greatness, man, all of this intellectual, all these successful blacks, and you got a leader who was elected. He was a legendary Sheikh Daoud, who was fluent in Arabic. He was an Arab from Morocco, and he was a Nubian, and he was the first one established. So this relationship later blossomed, because many of you remember many years later when Baba Yananan had taken New York and established Bushwick Avenue. Here he gave a dinner right here, a presentation, a celebration in honor of Sheikh Daoud, right here on Hart Street. Well, that was very significant because there was a split that happened in that mosque where when the Pakistanis had to start coming over the United States and took over the mosque, a lot of the Nubians, including Baba Yananan's mother, Fatima, and a lot of other prominent blacks left that. They had to break off because the Pakistanis were coming and taking over. So they left, and this is what gave birth to this. So Baba Yananan had stopped teaching Ameyaw Akatar, and that's when he started teaching Islam because everybody was gravitating towards that. So she was a pioneer. She was not just a business, but she was a pioneer. She was on the front lines of prominence with the intellectual community here in Brooklyn, and all of New York. And she was very well known. My fondest, I have a lot of memories, and 5 minutes will take all, and I'm sure Sister Shetson has much more memories of her. But my most recent was, I had gotten to know her on a very, very, very intimate level, just like a mother, son, and I'd come to admire her and her son, Bobby and Anna, because they were like my parents, my big brother, my mother and my big brother to me. So I've always honored them and always revered them. But she was so instrumental in helping keep this nation going at a time when things looked pretty bleak for us. She was always right there with him. She was always supporting him and always giving her all. But I just wanted to share that, and also the fact that she was also a very spiritual person. She was very loving and kind. And my last memory of her was when she was in Long Island. I went out to visit her, and she remembered me. And as I got ready to leave that evening and take the train back to Brooklyn, she said, why is he leaving? Black told me, said, why are you leaving? Why don't you just stay here and spend the night? And that was the last time I saw her, in this realm that we're in. So that. She is worthy, more than worthy. I mean, we could write a book about her and it would take 1,000 pages because her contribution to this nation and the Wapia Nation cannot be measured in words. And what she did at a critical time in this mission, she was there to help keep her son and help uplift him and keep him on top. And then from that point, he took it and he just, we just blossomed. From Carroll Street in Utica, that was from that point that we came to Bushwick Avenue. We moved over here. And the rest is history. Okay?